I just want to know, yeah. My party, how they go? I know so you don't slow. January to December. Oh, Charlie profit the man, oh. May God bless with money, oh. Be destined for your life, oh. Oh, no, no. Oh, Charlie profit the man, oh. May God bless with money, oh. Be destined for your family. Oh, no, no. Everybody buy somebody, bobo. Make nobody come bobo me, oh. We dey chill on the side. Everybody buy somebody, bobo. Make nobody come bobo me, yo. We dey chill on the side, yeah. Me loke, kilo shoye. I'ma open shoye. Shama jolo, oya pa me loke, kilo shoye. I'ma open shoye. Shama jolo, yeah. Fine girls on this side, bros you no block my view. Wow. Yeah. I don't want to, so I must pop. Lale ya pato. Yeah. I just say them carry. I go let that beat wow. I just say them pop. I go let that beat wow. I just say them low. I go let that beat wow. I just say them hammer. I go let that beat wow. Everybody buy somebody go. Make nobody come bobo me. We dey chill on the side. Everybody buy somebody bobo. Make nobody come bobo me, yo. We dey chill on the side, yeah. Me loke, kilo shoye. I'ma open shoye. Shama jolo, oya pa me loke.
Welcome. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's Friday. Thank God it's Friday. Back on the After Dark show. My name is KJ Shakespeare. But no, we are not here for Friday. This is the After Dark talk show for every Friday. Yeah. This is the Pan-African sex education issues in and around sex. We are no holds barred. Talk everything, anyhow and every hour it is supposed to be. We need the hear word. We need the outcome as we see them. We want to first apologize for coming through last week. We had issues beyond that. When we're doing it, you know, so you don't be fighting weather. But we are here now, and I can assure you that tonight's conversation will make up for what we missed last. Tonight we'll be talking something more educational. I mean, a little bit philosophical, you know, but basically being able to answer the question, some of the questions that that bothers a lot of us, or all of us. Yeah. So let's go in. I have one guest in the building today. Sienna says to apologize because she had to be in Lagos for a very, very important engagement, so she sadly missed it. But we have one very, very super amazing guest who is becoming a regular in the building tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for the one and only celebrity. This guy gets mouth, so anywhere in Africa he enters there. I mean, there's one advert that is playing on this. We can't mention that program, but it's playing on this stadium and he's on it. I mean, my car said it, but this man is a celebrity. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome with me. Push.
Good evening, Ibadan. Good evening, Africa. Good evening, Nigeria. KJ, nice to be here. Nice to be on the show with you. And of course,
yes, we'll be digging it. He's our custodian of the culture, and tonight's conversation will be about that culture, you know. So, before we dig in, right, you can call in today. You couldn't call in before. You could call in today to the studio line. The studio line is 081 44 34 0434. One more time, 081 44 34 0434. It's the After Dark Talk Show. Once again, let's go for a quick musical break, and then we'll be right back with a recap of our last show.
Contest am, Chris, when she contest am, she goes, all I got to say is all time, she Chris. What if I say, make you come chill with me in my place? When you go fi come, maybe this Friday. Me and you will be chilling in my room. We go listen to some songs that might be spicy. Maybe we could do this to the midnight. Yeah, because I want you. I want you. Yes, I want you. Yeah, and every day gonna be missing you. You know, 15 I say you they miss me too. Cause I know say now my music you they listen to. Your pictures on my wall everywhere in my house, in my parlor, in my room, in my kitchen too. Baby girl, you know say me I see you. Yeah, because I love you, I love you. Yes, I love you. Oh yeah, baby, give me love. Oh yeah. Jojo, Jawa, baby, give me love. Oh, oh, oh. Jojo. Oh yeah, baby, give me love. Oh, give me love. Baby, give me love. Oh, give me love. Oh, yeah. Give me love. Oh, give me love. Oh, Jojo. Oh yeah, baby, give me love. Oh, put me down. Oh, put me down. Jojo. Oh, give me love. Oh, yeah. Give me love. Baby, give me love. Oh, give me love. Oh, yeah. What if I say, make we no be friends, make you be my babe? Cause I don't fall and it be like say, me and you, we go run away, we go America in the midnight train. Your mommy doesn't even want to see my face, baby, and I love you, I love you. Yes, I love you. Ooh. Come to my hood. Many fine girls, but now you I choose. I'm not the guys want to steal my boo. They get the money and they get the body, but nobody else fit to fill my shoes. Baby, girl, you know, say na me and you. Yeah, and I got you, I got you. You know I got you. Love, oh, baby, give me love, oh. Jojo, yeah, yeah, yeah. Baby, give me love, oh, oh, oh. Yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, baby, give me love, oh no. Give me love, oh yeah, baby, give me love, oh. Give me love, oh. Give me love, oh. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So what if I say, yeah, make you come chill with me in my place? Yeah, when you go pick up, maybe this Friday. Me and you.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back, welcome back. You heard some amazing music from Crayon, Fireboy DML is on. Let's get back to the interesting things. So 2 weeks ago, we had a very, very interesting topic. We had folks in the house, and the topic was this: who is supposed to initiate sex, the man or the woman? Right? The male or the female? And then we asked who initiates sex in your relationships or in relationships you've had in the past. So let's have a quick recap of that, and then we can now go on to today's topic properly. So, Kush, 2 weeks ago you were around, and we talked about it. Who should initiate sex? So, back to you now.
Yeah, I think during the conversation I made my stance clear now that it should be a win-win thing. But
Explain.
depends on who wants it. If I want
Okay.
it, I initiate it. If she wants it, she initiates it. And because the culture, we can't do away with the culture because we stem from the culture. So we understand that the culture doesn't really give the female folks the room to actually, talk and, thoroughly express themselves. But then this is 21st century, and we can clearly state that um, the reason why some relationship does not work, sex has a very major role to play, And so we need to, keep having this conversation. Beyond the culture, if a lady wants sex, respectfully, she should request for it.
How is how this culture, man? Wait,
When I
explain.
say
Wait,
respectfully,
how does it? Olówó ni o, daddy of the house. I want penny, so I mean, she
when I
come
say
and kneel down.
respectfully, I'm trying to talk about modesty.
Okay, so how do you modestly request for sex?
Say you want to know.
No, talk. You know how we do it. Is after dark. We say it as it is. Oh yeah,
now.
give me an
Modest-
example.
Like, daddy,
You know we have an African audience, so please say it in English so that it will be sweet.
of course, yeah. When I say respectfully, you need to understand. You don't have to be desperate about it. If you want it, you also need to check if the man is emotionally, physically ready for it. So that's what I mean by respectfully.
Okay.
Not because you want sex, and because you want sex and the other person is not available, then you are looking for every means to get it, which I feel is not right. So that's
So how do you respectfully ask as a woman for a woman? How because I know there are ladies that are sisters in the ministry in After Dark Ministries that are listening to us right now that wants to learn how to modestly and respectfully ask for sex from their partner.
Proud to now, the way African culture see things when a lady say we start slut shaming.
I agree, but you are running away
So
from
when I
the
say
question.
respectful,
You are running.
I'm trying to say, okay, you read the room now. You try to understand that, okay, you are not desperate about it.
So it's not like I understand. How should she ask for it? That's what we are asking.
In context.
Yeah, give me an example. As a for example. Okay, so I'm not putting. All right.
So respectfully, I feel like I want to.
Okay, I feel like.
Don't cut corner. Be straightforward. I feel like doing this.
Okay.
I want to. Are you available?
Okay.
Are you available for this?
Okay.
Would you be available?
I'm in the mood for this. Are
I'm in the
you?
mood. Are you?
Mhm.
So now, if the person is at the other end is not available, so that's where my sense of respectfully. So be modest about it. Wait, put your body under control, because the quality control guys do these things.
Okay, I agree with you. However, I mean, we'll talk about this some other time, but it is very rare for men to refuse sex anyway. But now, moving on.
Sure.
Okay, we'll talk about it one day. Today is not the day for that. All right, moving on. Moving on to the topic of today.
They chop anything.
This you people's gender will shame you. All right, so moving on to today's topic. Let me just introduce today's topic, and then we'll go for another musical break, and then we'll come back and we'll face the topic of the day, and we'll hit you. All right. Topic is simple. Why do we shy away from talking about sex? Why? Culturally, talking about sex is not permitted. Religiously, talking about sex is technically not permitted. It's not permissible. And even in religious corners and all that. So why? What is the reason? And I'm happy that it's the cultural custodian that is around. So we can have this conversation exclusively. We can tear it open, tear it apart. And
What do you mean? Okay.
you are custodian. 2 weeks ago, you earned the custodian.
Yeah, it's fine, but
Yes.
okay.
Yes, you are our
I
custodian.
always create balance.
Of course, I agree with you. You are our custodian. All right. So please don't forget you can call in. You can also send WhatsApp messages. You can call in to the studio line 081 44 34 0434. One more time 081 44 34 0434. You can send a WhatsApp message also. You can send it to that line, I think. Yeah, you can send it if that one, you can send it to my own line if you have my line. All right, let's go for this quick musical break. We'll be right back. Yeah.
Yeah, only for dancehall killer. ID Kabasa, music, rocket lantern. Yeah.
Hold on. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Nobody wanna give, everybody wanna take. Fine girls want to get 1K. Talking loud, want to follow 1K. On your doofy want to make 1K. Oh yeah, totori me one time, totori me 2 times, totori me 3 times, totori me 4 times, oh yeah, totori me 1 time, totori me 2 times, totori me 3 times, totori me 4 times,
I'm getting a reason to feel my kissing. You've been to me before the deal, man, and started kissing. Thought y'all never change. You refuse to listen. You gotta love me for who I am, should you be seen. Fuck me on gym with you, rock out to give you contact. But I can't go back in your contact. Frigate the frog, I'm a cura for me, so talk. Now the Congo, contact, hold it, look down. Well, I just did it, going shit, I've been chilling, gone. For me, Nick, throw to bad, we make milligan. But the deal is gone, but quite a really gone. Jump by a civic kick out, get those guys selling love. But quite a bit to me, I like a sweat. It's a let you love me to touch, it's next. Look, Ben, wanna be Mario, my friend, back to my family, to back when I wish my jam back.
Nobody wanna give, everybody wanna take. Fine girls want to get 1K. Talking loud, want to follow 1K. On your doofy want to make 1K. Oh yeah, totori me 1 time, totori me 2 times, totori me 3 times, totori me 4 times, oh yeah, totori me 1 time, totori me 2 times, totori me 3 times, totori me 4 times,
Share business, for the boy Joe, you bad by your season. Can't be alone, but not to do it. I'm a two-pack, but see, let me call out all told you I'ma get it like 50, and I'ma hit it. Figure it's like what's to soft, though while I'm pretty. If a key, so I please put my fancy, but I really so about the need level, come from in the sand, I'm a community. Maybe why not go like, go to be their body. You're fucking lip pipe, you go and share one body. But the cock where we span, I see the TV, but it's down. But cause you with it, move fast, and man, I've been lying. But lying to my passion, every quick on my ass. I'm a Tony Beauty, just like you, busy ass. If you can't better come out like that stress, I'm a dead, it's better.
Nobody wanna give, everybody wanna take. Fine girls want to get 1K. Talking loud, want to follow 1K. On your doofy want to make 1K. Oh yeah, totori me 1 time, totori me 2 times, totori me 3 times, totori me 4 times, oh yeah, totori me 1 time, totori me 2 times, totori me 3 times, totori me 4 times,
All right, you're welcome back to the After Dark show, courtesy of After Dark Ministries. I'm your host, KJ Shakes, but you can call me the Rev. In the studio with me, I have the amazing, awesome Kush.
Yo, KJ. Let's go there.
Yeah, so let's have this conversation. You can also join the conversation. You can call in at any time 081 44 34 04 44, right? No, 34, look right. Yeah, 081 44340434. And you can also send a WhatsApp message at any time. You can also go on the website www.afterdarkministries.com. My vibes and cruise we did this night. All right, so the question: why do we shy away from talking about sex as a people, as a nation, as a continent? Because I hear it's the same across board, right? So why? Why do you think we shy away? Kush, let's have you.
Why do people shy away from talking about sex? Because I think it's based on what we were told. Nothing really based on the template that we met. Because why do people shy away from talking about sex? If you're hungry, you talk about it. I want to eat. I feel like eating this. I'm tired of eating rice. I want to eat yam and egg. So
Definitely.
people freely express themselves when it comes to other stuff or other ministries.
Exactly. Every other thing else,
Every other
everybody.
ministries. But when it comes to sex, we tend to shy away. So I feel that it's about um, the general opinion, the fact that we were taught to see it as something. What's the right word now? Is it sacred? Something. Even when you talk about it some certain way, they say you are too raw.
Okay.
Stuff like that. So, but I don't know if in my head, I'm just thinking. I feel that it's different between talking about sex in a vulgar way and talking about sex in an educative way.
Okay.
So I don't know if
Okay,
I
so
think I should be right.
is
Yeah.
there any way that is any of either of those styles of speaking? So is it that you are speaking in the vulgar way with some vulgarity, or you are speaking educatively? Is there any of them that is permissible amongst our people?
Yeah, I think that's where we need to, correct the norm in a way.
Okay.
Uh, I was having this conversation about sex with someone, an elderly woman, sometimes back, and she actually mentioned to me that there are cultures that actually train their female folks, their female child, on their sexuality,
Yes.
how to satisfy men, and all of that.
Yes.
Do you get?
Yes.
There are cultures in Nigeria that do that.
Oh yes.
And there are some cultures that they don't even care. And I know I have sisters. I know my mother, when they were growing up, my mother would tell them not to, follow boys. Talking about for
If you're
that
if a
literally
man,
meaning if a man touches you, you are going to get pregnant. And they don't really teach them the process, They just leave them to learn it,
on their own.
or probably learn reproductive system in school and all of that, puberty age and stuff. But I feel that it's very important for parents, based on their own knowledge, their own mistakes and doings and all, to actually talk about sex from a very
Tender age.
tender age in an educative way, not in the vulgar way. Because me and you, we know the vulgar way.
I don't know. I don't know the vulgar way. I don't know. I don't know. I have no idea. I mean, I have no idea.
You know the naughty way.
Oh no, I don't.
You don't know the naughty way.
I don't know anything now. I don't know
You must be
anything.
a father. So I feel that a lot of parents shy away from even educating their word in the
Okay, so let's pick it from parents. I saw a video recently of where Caucasian couples, white couple, they were having sex. It was doggy, right? The guy and then the kid walked into the room.
What's doggy?
Doggy. The guy is entering from the back, right? So,
Entry from
so the kid enters into the room.
Alright.
Small baby, maybe 1, 2, moving, usher him away from them. But the guy just decides that no, he climbs and enters into their middle and sits. Now and then I imagined if that were in an African setting, and what do you think that will happen? That's one. Number two, of course, we have an idea, but then I'll ask you, how do you think they will manage that scenario? And number three, what is the best way to handle that scenario?
Okay. So in Africa,
Mm.
I'm not sure you will even ever catch up having sex. And come to think of it, now that we are adults, you just go back in time and say,
They never had.
Like they never had it. Like so, I think African parents they are so smart.
Is the one smart?
It's not of being smart. You will never.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, I feel that African parents they are not. I don't want to say African parents are not romantic. I don't want to say it, but there are limitations to their romance. You get like
Well, the average.
because of the culture. So there are a lot of limitations. So, but talking about the scenario now, I feel that in an African setting, it should never happen or might never happen unless the parents are actually careless. You get.
And even if it
But-
happens, will they
but even
not beat
if-
the child?
Omo. In fact,
To think about.
that child, that child. I don't even I don't want to imagine it, but then so and that's the problem, yeah, because a lot of time, like I said earlier, the parents will just leave the children to go learn on their own, and there are a lot of informations out there now. The dispensation that we are in right now, there are a lot of information. So if you don't talk to your children about sex, if you don't put them through sex education,
Somebody else will.
someone else will do it. The gate man might do it.
Or the house help.
Or the house help. And they will not take them through just the theory. They're going to do the practical. So it's important for parents to have not shy away from this conversation. Of course, you can be modest about it and not be vulgar, but then it's important to talk. I tell people like me, my own children, I don't want to know as to be once they start having sense from age 2. It's just going to be in levels. Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
You start teaching them, taking them through sex education. But I don't know, unless those parents still did 19th century. Now that we are in it, I'm sure a lot of parents are, getting to know that it's important to train their children
Teach their children themselves
on sex education.
before somebody else. Now, we are in no way, let's just clear it, we are in no way supporting rape culture. We are in no way supporting what some helps do to underage kids. We are in no way encouraging it. And we are
But
also...
that's the reality.
Yes, but we just have to put it out
That's
there
the reality.
that I mean, we are not in any way supporting that or saying that all ourselves do this or all gate men do this, So let's just put that out there for so that we all understand ourselves. Now, you made some very important points. If the parents don't teach them, somebody else will. And then you mentioned culture. So what aspects of our culture, what exactly is it about that culture that says that talking about sex should be hidden or should not happen or it's tabooed or is wrong? Because I mean, let me create a scenario here. Okay, so if somebody commits a crime, a man commits a crime, they will beat, and then jungle justice happens, right? But if a woman commits a crime, most times they strip her naked, right? More often than not, they just strip her naked and then shame her in a way and they let her go, right? I mean, again, we are not supporting crime, but why is it that the shaming has to involve nakedness or getting ladies down to their nakedness? I mean, and I know it's cultural. It's already a part of our culture to shame women by exposing their nudity. So what is it? What is it about our culture?
I feel that it's because the culture has some element of saying something that are sacred and not to be in public eye.
Okay, some parts of the body.
Part of the body, some acts,
Okay.
and and what have you. So So that's the culture. There are cultural beliefs. There are some parts of there are some cultures that they don't really care about covering. There are some festivals that women don't cover the upper,
They are breast.
their
We
breast and
are
everything.
after that. What are you hiding?
You get so it's there are dynamics
Yes.
to these things. But what I'm saying is, or what we are saying is, to even pinpoint, okay, I'm not sure there is a specific place in our culture that says that parents should not talk about sex. I'm not sure. I just feel that the culture created some limitations. Yeah.
How?
Uh, how? It has been before, it has been there, like it has been
The way it
template,
has been
in a
done.
way, the way of life, in a way
Yeah.
that okay, it's sex. So anything about sex, sacred and all that. But I'm not sure there's any part of our culture that states that parents should
Okay.
not
Maybe
talk about sex.
virginity. The way we celebrate virginity in women.
Yeah.
The female virginity is celebrated, but nobody's talking about the guy.
Yeah. So the culture is not even balanced.
Balance.
balance.
You get, so if they test a lady's virginity on the wedding night, put a white cloth. If she bleeds, she's a virgin. If she doesn't bleed, she's not a virgin. Of course, we know that there are blood that they had now that you can use to buy your virginity back and all that. But
You seem to know.
I mean, I learn about these things. So if women are supposed to keep their virginity or ensure that they don't have sex before marriage, and the guys are not particularly supposed to be bothered about that. Do you think that contributes any way to the, of course, loop-sided way that sex is, yes, but then to the taboo? Because, for instance, as a single man, you're a single man, Abi, you should not be having sex. According to our culture, Abi, bro, Alpha, a single man, you're not supposed to knack.
Culture or religion.
So that's that move that also. Culturally, religiously, you are not supposed to knack before you marry. So you are not, if you are not supposed to knack before you marry, you are not supposed to be talking about knacking.
Okay.
So technically, everybody that is knacking is knacking hypocritically, because, or no, wrong. They are wrong, because I mean, culturally and religiously, you're not supposed to be knacking before you get married. I don't know if that makes sense. So what's the way? I mean, right now we are here. They say we should not knack, but we are knacking, right? So
You and
the young people, sorry, singles.
please represent yourself.
Are you not? If I cast you now, if I cast you 1 minute, if I check your phone log, 1 minute, every 2 seconds, everything will just bust. All right, let's take a quick break. We'll be right back. Let's take a quick musical break. We'll be right back, because me tonight I will cast Kush.
Fresh on the beat.
Say you want put me for trouble. What is my crime? Oh, you justify act. What if I die? You must be a bumbo. You blow my mind. No be my mind. But you don't change my plan. Yeah, I was locked up. You won't let me out, but you let me out. You did what I you won't let me out. You let me out. I don't need to say it, but I can see how you are, baby. Yeah, I've been there locked up. You won't let me out, but you let me out. That's enough. Up, girl, let me out. You let me out. I don't need to say it. But I guess here you are, baby. Baby. Òrìṣà tí ó bá gbé mi, dákun wá padà lẹ́yìn mi o. Yeah. And I'll take you to my Enzo. We'll make a movie in my room. You are the lyrics to my tune. Yeah. I'ma be the move. I'll take you for the weekend. Many girls, but you I choose. You're the reggae to my mood. And if I get you, girl, what would I do? Shaku, yeah. I've been the locked up. You won't let me out, but you let me out. That's now off, come, girl, let me out. You know you let me out. I never need to say it, but I guess here you are, baby. Yeah, I've been the doctor. You won't let me out, but you let me out. You did what's after. You let me out. You know you let me out. You are, baby. Yeah. I've been the doctor. You won't let me out, but you let me out. You did what's after. You let me out. You know you let me out. You are, baby. Now you are good in my bed.
CK Weezy.
Good in my bed.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the show. So I'm keeping up this energy, and it's very intentional, because we're talking something very serious. I mean, even though we are not talking of the act of the penis entering the vagina, but we're talking about a very, very. What we're talking about is also very, very important. It will save lives. It will help people. I mean, there are a lot of dimensions to it, and maybe, just maybe, we might be continuing this some other time. But quickly, we want to invite somebody on the show. He's full of wisdom. He's a married man. He has been saying he doesn't want to come on the show, but he's in the studio with us. He's a celebrity. He's a musician. He's amazing. Ladies and gentlemen, Kush, help us welcome into the studio. Emperor. Thank you so much. You're welcome to the show.
Okay, KJ, I'll need to, how do I say now? Emperor is not expecting this, but I'm going to expose it. Yeah. Emperor is the son of King Sunny Ade.
Wow! Woo!
So I call him heir to the throne.
Yes, amazing.
If you see where Emperor they perform,
So,
well,
I don't want to start guessing now, but we'll talk after the show because I saw a video that's trending of the son. Is that you? That's amazing. And you said you are not your father. You are different, Abi. Yeah, something like that. Yeah. So I saw it. You see, I'm gonna make her the fans now. Oh shit! All right. Thank you so much for being on the show. Now, quickly back to the topic. We have a few minutes to go. You brought in a very unique angle to it, and I want you to be the one to introduce yourself, talking about why people don't have conversations, how it affects counseling, pre-wedding counseling, how it affects marriages, and also how it affects couples, and then eventually the kids. You get it. So, Emperor, you have the floor.
All right, thank you. First of all, good evening, Nigeria. Good evening, Africa. I'm so happy to be here. I like to contribute to this show as a married man. I've seen things. I've had things.
it's energy for me.
I'm telling you, he for energy.
Okay.
All right, so I believe that knowledge a man first receives, tends to stick more than a knowledge received later. In the aspect of, when parents should be the one to talk about sex to their children, you know them, you know the right time. Some of them might not be able to handle, this knowledge. But I'm sorry, Mr. Push. Let's put culture aside. Let's talk about our norms of ourselves. You can culture your own child the way you want, so that in future you not be the one settling things in marriages. Now, what I said earlier was the fact that there's pre-marriage counseling. They talk about a lot of things. Some are talk about sex. Some don't even talk about. They just say respect your husband, love your wife, and everything. And it shouldn't be. Let's talk about sex in churches. Let's talk about sex outside at anywhere. So now I believe that at that time, maybe the late hour when they are almost getting married, what is in their head is about planning wedding.
As in,
You understand?
it's
So,
formed already.
so let them know at tender ages, that this is sex. This is what you need to talk about. Fine, it's sacred. You don't just have to talk about it all the time, but you put them in conditional, atmosphere that this is sex. This is what it's about. You should be careful. You should know you should be intentional. You shouldn't be done wrong. Just like stealing, you don't just do it the wrong way. You have it the right way. You understand? So, so anyway, I'm from experience. My dad has a lot of wives, you understand? And personally, I'm like, how is this man doing it? And believe that as an African man, you have the right to have a lot
As
of
many wives as
him. Now
possible.
we are talking about wives. They see concubines. They still, so now the thing is,
You cast the man.
now you are telling us that
He's a king.
you're telling us that women is not balanced. They celebrate and everything. Man don't celebrate it. But look at the man. The man can just be doing it anyhow. But for women, they can't be doing that as much. So like,
JJ, sorry to continue. If you remember, I mentioned about training the girl child during the
Yeah, the male child 2 weeks
yeah.
ago.
So I believe it has to be a balance so that you will be the how do I say this? You'll be the ones to have the first honor of telling your child how these things is done. So whatever it comes to his head, he tells you that I've been taught about it. I know these things. You'll be like, wow, this is it. So you don't get to assume because couples assume. My marriage exception anyway but couples assume that I satisfy my wife enough. The wife assumes sexually. So the wife assumes that you satisfy the husband enough, and which is not right. So
Okay.
the couples don't even talk to themselves about sex we are talking about.
Okay, so Emperor, quick
Yeah.
one. As a married man, after sex with your wife, do you have this conversation like,
Feedback.
baby, are you okay?
So the Iris.
All right. First off, I'm so happy to say this. You are putting my marriage on a hot spot, but for the sake of sex education.
Yes!
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 And for the good health
Of we the single people and the ones
Alright.
listening.
I'm going to say this. My marriage is an exceptional. Thank you for it. We talk about everything and anything. You understand? Now, the interesting part of having sex in marriage is to satisfy each other. So we ask each other after, during, and before.
Wow.
You understand? This is how you want it. This is how we do it. Yeah.
So
So
today
we talk about
They come from
it. So
behind.
do you- I'm being serious. These are the things that you prepare your mind that this is how the sex is. So when this stuff is going on, you are eating the right spots. You understand? So even if you're not doing well, she tells you that this is how you want it. If she's not doing it, I tell her to do it. You understand? And when we get to a point and we feel like, okay, maybe, our mother and our father is like, how do they even do this? Do they even talk? Do they even kiss? You understand? But the truth is that I feel we need to talk about it together. So after we're done, like we asked, during we asked. So when we get to a point that, okay, we've done all of this, we go for research.
Wow.
Yeah, we go for Kama Sutra, all of that and everything. Yeah,
Nice.
by the time
Nice.
but we have slash on the same. All right, shout out to Mama, shout out to Mommy Judah, Mama Judah. I'm so happy to talk about you.
Mama Judah, we are proud.
You are doing well. We want you in the studio to come and educate our ladies on the.
Yeah, so it's okay. So when child comes, you'll be happy. When anything comes in, you'll be happy. When there's any feeling in your body, is this the fault? Could it be? Is it about sex? Then we talk about it. We stretch it. By that, we're educating ourselves that even when the child comes, it's something we could talk about. It's not like maybe it's that dude that will go and talk to the son. Maybe it's more call him, she or him as a son. Tell them so that the knowledge will stay early. And I believe that it will really help. Let's talk about sex in the right way, in the modest way, anyway.
Yeah.
All right. So he says something that I want to bring to the fore. He said, let's leave culture aside. Right now, that is very important because going forward, right? Are we saying that we want to create our own culture where we have conversations around sex, even not just as married people, single people, people that want to, even before you start dating?
Yeah.
I mean, I think I want to recommend it that before you start dating, understand your sexual preferences. Know that maybe you people would align or something. I don't know if I'm making sense, Kush. What do you think?
Okay, yeah. So when Emperor mentioned let's leave culture aside, and um, then he further said to create your own culture. Yeah,
Yes.
Am I correct?
Yes.
Yeah. So I personally feel that okay, what is culture? In a very simple meaning, according to dictionary, culture is the way of life. Yeah. So anything that is considered to be way of life, I feel that it should be right. It should add values, and done with modesty.
This modesty way they always talk. I don't understand.
Yeah. If you,
Oh, wait, can you knock? Can you knock with modesty?
When I say
Well,
modesty,
you feel knock with modesty.
yeah, if you're knocking, you should knock with modesty.
How? I don't understand. Is there any modest knock?
You don't want yourself out now because you want to knock.
Oh, wow.
Okay, what's
What
the essence of knocking? For pleasure, right?
if? What if you are
Maybe
pleasured?
for some, according to some experts, it's good for the health.
Yes,
and
it's
again
exercise.
for procreation.
Yes.
So do you no? So when we now bring the context of modesty, you won't burn too much.
Not be just born now.
Yeah.
Na exercise now.
No, while you are doing your exercise,
Yes.
even in exercise.
Oh, no, once in a while.
Fitness coach will tell you when to stop, when to. So that should be.
Wait, she fitness
that
coach,
should be guideline.
knocking coach they when I did knock.
Yeah,
Once in a while you go all the way.
You don't overdo it. That's modest. Everything in life that should be modest.
I mean, I don't
Trust
understand.
me. There should be measures. It comes in measures.
Bro.
Yeah, I want to shed light on the cultural aspect. I'm
Yes.
an African to the core.
Okay.
I respect cultural values. What I'm saying, which I appreciate, Kush, what they said is that it creates is our own way of life. Now we should do it with modesty. I also said it what I was saying talking earlier. You do it with modesty because if you treat a woman with respect, she will treat you back with respect. You understand? So inside sex, there's still respect. You don't.
I agree.
Yeah, you don't manhandle a lady like.
But you woman handle a lady. So it's so sad.
Woman-
It's so painful that the sisters are not around because I mean this topic I'm sure we'll come back to maybe one of definitely along the line we'll talk about it because gentlemen the brothers have a perception that there's a way to treat a woman right, a good way to treat especially a wife. There's a good way,
Yeah.
and sometimes these women want to be used anyhow.
Yes.
You know.
So that's why we need to talk about sex.
Exactly.
Ladies talk to us how they actually want it.
Exactly, which now goes back to this modesty that you've been talking about because there are ways that a lady wants to be handled that is not modest.
That is not modest.
It is not modest in any way.
When-
Over there, go let knock the living daylight out of her. When you finish, you say you go finish after you finish.
But still in the modesty. You
Which
don't
yes,
have-
it was
you
modest.
don't have to be every day. You know. Yeah, that's still modest. You know.
I don't
You
understand.
don't have to be every time.
So
you
it's-
can burn out. You can burn out at the gym and everything, and worn out yourself. But it shouldn't be every day.
You
Just
see, what you are
start
doing
with
is you are putting standards to it, which is also the problem. The problem is, I mean, we are saying why don't we talk? Because people before us put standards around sex. So we are still creating barriers.
So how about let's understand each other first.
Uh-huh.
Let's know the extreme of how each other could be.
Exactly.
Then we'll talk about sex in the
Within the confines of both of you.
Yeah.
But then there's no cultural acceptance standard.
I feel that every relationship comes with compromise, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So it depends on who you are with. So you have conversation, good conversation. It's not just conversation, good, clear conversation on this is what we want. These are the limitations and all. So modesty. I feel modesty is not about creating barriers for me. It's not about creating barriers. Modesty, self-control. When you're able to, put your urge in check, because you might want it and the other person does not want to have sex.
How do you deal with that?
So how do you deal with that? Are you going to go out looking for because you want sex.
Which raises another question. I mean, that happens, but it raises another question of sexual compatibility. We've talked about it, sexual compatibility. Some people, they only need a little bit of sex and they're fine. While some other people need it back to back. Some guys are 2 minutes guys. Some girls want 2 minutes of sex. So
Don't say it to me.
but then for some ladies, that is what they want. If someone told me this 2 years ago, I won't believe. But I have chatted because of After Dark, during After Dark services on my WhatsApp. I have chatted with ladies that they don't want a guy inside them beyond 2 minutes. They don't want it. If they chase you away,
They're okay.
they are okay. They want foreplay, play with their breasts, give them head, massage, do all of that.
All of that too is part of
The whole
the sex
exactly. But I'm
yeah,
saying
the package. I like that.
But the penetrative part of sex itself, that you think that you want to bang away somebody's
because
destiny.
that's one of the loopholes with our culture. I'm not sure our culture really recognizes their, really
The women.
Aside from no, that's not where does not understand the detail when it comes to sex.
Understand?
Sex.
We don't talk about it.
You get so for some people they feel that the penetration is the sex.
It's the sex.
You understand?
That's it. So they feel that it is until the vagina and the penis are doing like this. And that's when sex is happening. When the whole, clap me with the.
Like in church, sex.
You're making the. Some people. Anyway.
Some go faster. These people. See this conversation now. Because of our religion, as we're having this conversation, there is this part of us that say, you are sinning.
At first it comes out that way, but over time you realize that it is what it is.
Man,
it's just
the same way you talk about I want to eat rice.
Like say I see your clothes now. They I say who make them. Say now you're here. I myself won't make. That's easy.
But
You wanted to say something?
you start like me say what?
You don't get like they just feel like I strap on better strap today. Guy, I release my body. I sleep after. I say how you doing, mom? That thing, from back, I do give her a head, I suck breast, you talk. Not, don't say the name of the person, don't describe the person, but just talk about the act. I'm not for people saying their history, their browser history. But explain, I did this. Did the girl come? Well, maybe she came, she didn't come, but she said she enjoyed it.
And this conversation, it could be the saving grace for some marriages.
Yeah, relationships, not only marriage anyway. Because from experience,
I'm just trying to be modest because we are not supposed to be having sex.
So we have a call. We have a call in the building. I hope it's for the show. Hello.
Yeah, good evening.
Yeah, good evening.
Yeah, so nice show you have there.
Oh, thank you so much.
Sex. I think I would go with that man in cap talking about tradition.
Okay.
Because I think when we talk about full package, we were not past what romance was from our parents. What we all knew about was penetration. You understand? So I doubt even if our parents had romance before penetration, it's more of 1 minute So I think it starts from making us understand the fact that sex is not just penetration, but it's more like there should be a foreplay, there should be a romance, there should be a setting the woman on the man on the path to sex, and not just zip off and take the bra off and boom, enter the lagoon like that.
Thank you. Thank you so much for your contribution. So if you want to call, you can. Do we have? It's on. It's right at 9 p.m. Yeah. We have to leave the studio right now. But our first caller for the show. We thank you. We appreciate you for calling in. Thank you for not mentioning your name. Thank you for not mentioning where you are calling from. It's totally anonymous. If you want to do this, call us, share your thoughts, and then be going and continue enjoying the
And
show.
while we see, we get to that point in this life, that we'll stop keeping this thing anonymous.
Eventually,
Let's talk about this thing.
eventually.
So that's me. I like to create. I like culture, but I still, like to understand the dynamics that the dispensation that we are in. There's a lot of information flying out there. So if we do not have some conversation, and that is where I'll be drawing the curtain this evening. If we do not have some good, clear conversation about, stuff like this, then we are going to lead a lot of generation astray.
All right. Our special guest, Emperor.
Thank you for hosting me, and I'm so happy to be here on the show. I would like to let everyone out there know that we need to talk about sex in a very good possible best condition way, especially from parents to their children. God bless you.
Thank you so much. All right, finally, I will go against everything they've said and I encourage you to talk about sex anyhow at first. I mean, nobody taught us how to talk about sex. We didn't learn it in school. We did not learn it anywhere. There's nowhere to learn it until you start talking about it. So talk.
When you go for interview,
Uh,
start
so when
conversation.
you go for interview, they advertise your shirt. What's wrong with you? Better be coming. Talk about it. Just express yourself. Over time, you will get a hand on it. But whatever it is you do, make sure you have those conversations to start with your partners, with your friends. I mean, kick it off. And over time, don't let the culture stop you. It's been an amazing show. This is still the After Dark talk show with Rev of the After Dark Ministries, KJ Shakes. Thank you so much for coming, Kush. Thank you so much for honoring our impromptu invitation, Emperor. Yes, everybody listening, we love you all so much. See you next week.
All right.